Well, namaste and Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. This is a conversation I've been looking forward to because this is a story that's been there in the ether since about 2008 and also done the rounds in the courts of Kerala, became a national headline and an issue, and a lot of people believe this is nothing but largely propaganda. Where is the proof, is what many would ask. And then for somebody to go ahead and say, let's make a story out of it, somebody to decide I want to direct it, and then to decide that I want to act in it. So the Kerala story, Vipul Shah ji, Adah, and also Sudipto ji. Namaste. So all three of you, the maker, the director, and of course, the actor. Why do this story?
Because when Sudipto Dada narrated me this story, I was kind of in tears. And I thought that something so sad is happening to these girls. Our daughters are getting completely radicalized through a manipulated conversion and their lives are getting destroyed. And while living in this industry and living in Bombay, we have no idea. So how will the nation know about it? So this topic needs to be told to the whole nation, world. And some action has to be taken against this. That was the only thought with which we started. And we also decided that we're going to be absolutely focused on only the human tragedy part of it. We don't want to do any politics in this. We don't want anything else but the human tragedy at the center and heart of it. And we are going to make a very, very honest, very, very bold film. We are not going to shy away. We are not going to sugarcoat. And that's what we have made.
But the politics has already happened, Sudipto ji. People are asking, where did you come up with this 32,000 number? Now groups have announced 1 crore reward for anybody who can prove the 32,000 number.
I did not get time to tell people that number is actually not 32,000. It is more than 50,000.
Wow.
Now,
so you are upping the numbers. But what's the basis for it?
That is what I'm coming. The point is, the number is hardly matters here. After a point of time, you forget counting, 10, 15, 20, 100, 120, 200, then you forget counting. In the case of Kerala, it exactly that is had happened. That now number does not matter, you are from Kerala, so you must be knowing. Kerala has an image that it's a beautiful backwater, lush green villages, and it's a photographer's paradise.
Yes.
But that whole story is confined into Kochi to Trivandrum. Nobody knows what is happening in the northern part of Kerala, that Kasargod, where people even in Kerala do not know that there is a place called Attikad, where more than 15 villages has Sharia law. The barber shop is closed. Women are not allowed to move out of the house alone without burqa. Schools are closed. Only madrasa go on. So these are the things which were at this is the high time when you are talking about a new India, emergence of a different India. These prehistoric things cannot coexist together. So this is the right time to take out the truth that what is going on in under the cover of the highest literate state.
So you have research, numbers, facts to back your claim that it's not 30,000, it's upward of 50,000.
Yes, and to reach that 32,000, we kept on adding up numbers from different sources. And I will tell you a very funny part of it. First, the number came from, that the then Chief Minister Oman Chandi placed a report in the floor of the Kerala Legislative Assembly. That number was 7,900 something. Then there are no discussion, no noise. Suddenly, official conversion center, they come out with the number that 900 girls been converted in the year of 2014 or 15. And then they come that another report came that these are the Satyasarani and all these other unofficial center, they came up with a number of 11,000. So we kept on adding up, and by adding up, and there was a data that 2,800 to 3,200 girls being converted from Hindu and Muslim society. That was also part of the Chief Minister's deliberation that day. So putting all the numbers, calculating as per year conversion numbers, we reached to the fact that on an average 2,800 to 3,200 girls are being converted. That number, we have all the documents that which are the part of this adding up job and the average making job. But we decided not to disclose this at this point of time unless you see the film. One last point.
Ji.
A few journalists from Kerala saw the film in Bangalore. We organized a test show. They were almost like hounding me that where did you get this number? I said, give me 3 hours time. In between you see the film. After watching the film, when you come out, if you still have the question, I will answer. And trust me, when they came out and I asked them that do you want the answer? No, no, Sudipto, we got the answer. We don't need the answer of where did I get the number, 32,000 number. My point is very simple. We also asked, put up RTI, that what is the exact number. RTI has given a website to take out the truth. It was a wrong website address. So you can imagine that there are some organizations which has the vested interest to conceal the truth. So all this, as you said, all this hulla bulla and all this shout out is happening to stop the film. The day film will be released, 5th May, this truth is going to hurt some section of people who has perpetrated to these girls. And the girl, whether it is 32,000, whether it is 31,492, whatever may be the number, then the human tragedy will come out. Then people will forget the number. We have been taught that even one girl is been maltreated, raped, molested, then the society should hang the head in shame. So are you crazy? Are you talking about the number? Let us first talk about the girls. The girl whose the parents whose daughter has committed suicide. She is telling me that please put the photograph of the guy who killed my daughter and on our camera. Do you think I want to discuss number? I will not.
So you're saying focus on the human tragedy, be it 32,000, 3,200, 32 or 3. This should not happen.
Absolutely.
But your point of view is that it's rampantly happening. Let me ask you, what made you do the film? And did you go down, do the in-depth research? Are you convinced about what
Yeah,
you've done?
absolutely. There's not even an iota of doubt that it's not happening. Also because Sudipto sir has done 7 years of research. There's a lot of information available on the public domain also. I think that's why we're getting support from every part of the nation and even internationally, because this is happening internationally as well. It's not just in India. So no, I didn't have any doubts on the material, or whether I should or shouldn't do it also wasn't a doubt.
But there is also the backlash. So if there is support, there is also backlash.
Absolutely.
There are also those who are saying that you're backing a particular agenda.
Right.
You are, aren't you risking your career? Aren't you risking whether or not you're going to get more projects?
But
in
I
Bollywood
always
as an
wonder, the
actress?
people who are saying that, would they say that if even one of their person was among the 32,000, or even if the 32,000 was 5 and they had one of their person in the 5 who was raped, drugged, impregnated or forcefully sent off, brainwashed, their mother, their sister, their daughter, I wonder if they'd say that it was an agenda even then. So I wouldn't. So for me, I'm clear.
So before watching the movie, when there are people who are passing judgment based on the
Right.
posters, based on the theme, based on what's happening, what's going through your mind?
I'm actually happy we live in a free country where we have freedom of thought and speech. In the film, they take me to a place where there's no freedom and thought for speech for women. You're not even allowed to have a cell phone on you. You can't, as a woman, you're not allowed to do that. There are a lot of rights that we have. And I think the freedom of thought is the biggest gift ever. So I'm very happy people have the freedom of thought and speech and they're putting their opinion across. I just hope they watch the whole movie and then maybe put their opinion across. But if they want to now, we can't stop them. They can continue.
Was it difficult for you to play the character? Despite knowing what the background is, getting into the research, was it
I'm
difficult?
from Kerala, so also I'm a girl who's brought up by my mom and my grandmother mostly, so that seemed a lot at home. I felt I'm an only child. My character, Shalini, she's an only child. Of course, I'm not brought up in Kerala and I'm not brought up so protected, but I did actually identify a lot. And I think as a woman, to feel the sensitivity of another woman, that was, yeah, there were some sequences in the film which are barbaric almost and extremely physically violent also. So those, when I read, actually they were tough, but I think you have good makers and everyone's nice on set, and you know, we're working as a team. For an actor, that just makes life a lot easier, the actor part of it.
Did you want to ever question why would, if this is happening and if it is happening on ground, why would an entire state, why would politicians, why would society at large want to be in denial about it?
See, it's very difficult to understand why certain political silence is around certain issue. And this is not the only issue. There are many political issues where there is a tremendous amount of political silence. And sometimes you need to shake it. So rather than questioning why the political silence is there, I would much rather go and focus on the pain of those girls, their tragedy, and say, okay, let's put this tragedy out and let's see if people of this country start demanding justice for them. Sometimes that's the best way to do it, because if I can't wake up somebody who is trying to act as person sleeping, I'll have to do something else. And what I can do as a person is to go ahead and make a film. And I will try and make an honest film, as honest as I can, and put it out and wait for people to react. Once people react, then everything changes.
There is effort to legally block the movie from release. There has been a certain amount of delay also in terms of release for this movie. This project has been there in works for a while. How do you see all of that as a producer, as a maker?
Honestly, we were anticipating this because we are telling a very uncomfortable truth. And when you say uncomfortable truths, things are not going to be easy. There are many, many people who will want to stop you. But I also believe that when you are speaking the truth, eventually you will prevail, and people will, and if we were complete liars, then the kind of support that we are getting on social media, 2 bad comments and 8 good comments wouldn't be the ratio. People are smart enough to look through a propaganda which is fake. They can see through it, and they will not support you if they feel that your content, your material is not good. But we were expecting these legal troubles because, as I said, truth is not very easy, and to deal with it is also not very easy for many people. So yeah, but that's okay, part of game.
If I may very respectfully, Sudipto ji, say that in your career, in your filmmaking journey, you have flirted with very sensitive subjects. Asma, I was making a mention, that's also very sensitively poignant story, but also brings out a facet which many would wonder, can you really bring it out? Adah was just saying that you spent 7 years researching this story. So did you spend time in Kerala?
Yeah.
Did you meet some of the people who have gone through?
I met more than 500 girls. I don't forget, as I said, the number hardly matters to me. I think more than 500 girls I met, and I spent a lot of time with, as you were discussing, Arsha Vidya Samajam. I spent a lot of time with the people who are, particularly our research team who dealt with these girls. Now, we opened up a channel to talk to this girl who are in Afghanistan jail, thanks to the then Foreign Minister Sushma ji. So, we very organically we were involved into figuring out. Earlier it was like a very sinister plan of girls trafficking, which was happening since ages from Europe, America, Australia, and all this. But when we started putting together things in Kerala, then we realized it has lot to do with Kerala politics. Because I don't want to, because I am not a political person who has right to make any political comment. But one thing was very clear, that there are a lot of political interest involved in the game of conversion. So I have a problem to talk about that it is nothing to do with religion. It is to do with terrorism. And terrorism is very manipulatively being used. Now, there is a notion in the entire country that terrorism does not have any religion. So, but in Kerala, the analogy is completely different. If any discussion about terrorism happen in Kerala, people particularly attach with you are Islamophobic. Now, rest of the India, the standard is that terrorism has no religion. In Kerala, terrorism has a religion, and we are not supposed to talk about it. Kerala is a very peaceful country, peaceful state. Yes, Kerala is a beautiful state, you know.
Yeah.
It has culturally super rich. It has wonderful temples, churches, mosques, beautiful nature. But all these are being now, when I am going to Kerala for last so many years, I realize these are all the facade. And using these beautiful feelings about Kerala, some has hatched a sinister plan. We just tried to expose that. We have nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with politics. We, more precisely, we picked up 3 stories of 3 girls. They are friends. One right now is in Afghanistan jail. One committed suicide. One is nobody knows where she is. So you can imagine telling a story of 3 girls. Can it hurt somebody's sentiment? I don't think.
But what is common in those 3 girls as the story?
That one common thing between 3 girls. One is, as you will see in the film, that one is from Trivandrum, one is from Kottayam, one is from Kochi. One common point is they are the simple Kerala girl, trusted a boy, fallen in love. That is the one common mistake they did, and then they reach where they are in my film.
Correct. But let me ask you, as an individual, would you also want to say that are 32,000 girls, if I were to take that number, or say 500 girls, so easy to brainwash that they will go so far to not just give up their religious identity, but they would actually become so radicalized? You know, somewhere you would say it's Stockholm syndrome. Other ways you would say that they've been brainwashed to a level they don't even know what they're doing. How is that possible?
So someone else also asked me this, and they said, if you're so highly educated, if a girl is educated, how can she fall for this? But then anyone can fall in love. That's possible. And these guys are really charming, and they are paid to make somebody fall in love with them. That's their job. So they know how to do it. Leaving that aside, even the girls in our film, everyone has a different character. Like, I might be a little more gullible. I have a friend who isn't gullible at all. So they would drug her and then rape her and then do things to her. For me, say it would be a little easier. So they know how to play their cards. Somebody else, they'd get your self-confidence down and then creep into your mind. And, you know, once you get someone's self-confidence down, then to creep into your mind, shake your faith, make you doubt yourself, doubt your faith. And then, so they see ways and means of how to manipulate you. It's different for each case. And yeah, I think it is totally possible after meeting people, after reading material that some of the victims have written, after going through it myself. On the face of it, it just sounds like, oh, how can you brainwash somebody and get them radicalized? But it's systematically done. It's shown in our film, step by step. Difficult to just put in a few sentences. But once you watch the film...
But did it make you think, how is it this is being allowed and this is being ignored if it is happening in our society?
Yeah.
Did it make you wonder, saying, I'm portraying characters who've faced this in real life.
Absolutely.
But is this the India of the 21st century? Is this the India that we're looking at?
No, there are different Indias. Like Dada said, there are different parts of what you would see through your mind, what you would see of a place. This is one part, and this is happening here. And maybe if we allow it to happen and dust it under the carpet and pretend like it's not happening, it will start spreading like a disease. Or we can catch it soon and then not let it spread and catch the bad guys, because the film is good versus evil. It's not about any, it's like terrorism versus humanity, good versus bad. So if we stop the bad from spreading, we can just have more good, and the more people who are on the side of good will be able to take down the bad.
Are you somewhere broad brushing an entire community, saying they're all like that?
Absolutely not, and neither does our film say that. Our film is talking about these specific people, like
That's a very easy, it's a very thin line, isn't it?
See, the thing is, as I said, that it's a sinister plan hatched somewhere else in the world. They found out a good breeding ground in Kerala because of many reasons, because of socio-political reason. There are reasons for the cultural and population demography in Kerala, which you know, which I don't want to discuss here. There are definite reasons that why Kerala is radicalized. So and it is not only about our film. This discussion is common in many a time that had happened. Whenever there is a bomb blast in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Colombo, the Kerala boys are being found out. There are many instances that in international list of the terrorists, short of the terrorist groups. Many organization has a base in Kerala. Many terrorist organizations. So Kerala has become vulnerable due to many reasons that I don't want to discuss. But that has nothing to do with the politics, that has nothing to do with the religion. It is a sinister plan hatched outside India. Sometime it has got some fuel from the political rivalry or something to do with the politics. But I don't believe that any religion, any politics can support this kind of sinister, heinous crime.
Well, Kerala Chief Minister has already called it an RSS-driven propaganda, RSS BJP-driven propaganda. What would you like to tell Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan, who, if my memory serves me right, actually backed V.S. Achuthanandan's claims back in 2010, 2012, when he said that there are entities who are, and you know what V.S. Achuthanandan had said.
Straight away said that Kerala, they are spending money for conversion, getting married to a religion, other religion, and Kerala will be turned into a Muslim state in 20 years.
In 20 years. That's what Mr. V.S. Achuthanandan had said, and Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan at that time had backed him. Today he is saying it's an RSS BJP-driven propaganda, which is deliberately being made to try and create social disharmony in Kerala, because the BJP and RSS want to make inroads into Kerala. That's what the position is. How would you want to react? What would you like to tell Mr.
I wish
Pinarayi
we
Vijayan?
were that powerful to really create so much of an impact that BJP or RSS can enter into Kerala just because of our work. Look, he's a very senior leader and it's not appropriate for us to really respond to his comments. He has his political affiliations, he has his political ideology, and he's talking from that ideology. Where we come from is that this is a story of 3 girls whose lives were destroyed, and there are many more whose lives have been destroyed or would be destroyed. So we want to bring it to his attention. We want to request him to, look at the film from a point of view that we are against the terrorists who are doing this to these girls. So will he support us in, exposing this terrorist or no? That's all we can request him.
Didn't somebody ask you, Vipul bhai, क्या बना रहे हो आप? ऐसा पिक्चर बनाओ ना जो 1000 करोड़ बनाए, mindless, brainless picture, entertaining masala film, it will get you lots of money. Why are you getting into these kind of subjects?
See, actually, a lot of people did tell me that why are you doing this, and it's very, you're being too bold and too foolish rather, and stuff like that. But I felt that the whole tragedy is so powerful and so shocking that I would not be able to live happily if I let it go and not make a film on something.
So you didn't know about it till he had come and
we all had heard, but when you hear some small report here, some small news article here, it's different. When you see a research where you see testimonies of hundreds of girls, it shakes you. It completely shakes you as a human being. And I felt that after working for 20 odd years, if there is a subject like this right in front of me, I'm not going to do it, then what am I going to tell myself? How will I deal with myself that you allowed something like this, came in front of you and you let it pass and you said, I don't want to do it, it's uncomfortable, it's difficult, it will have lots of consequences, so let somebody else make it. I thought that would be terrible, and so I decided that come what may, I'm going to make this film. And that's why the day we decided, after that we never looked back.
When did you decide on Adah, and what was her reaction when you approached her?
To be very honest, one of the challenges were that who will play this part? Which girl is going to risk her career or whatever, And she was very, very brave to accept it, and we are grateful that she accepted this role. But even after, casting her, for other 3 girls and other guys, we were struggling for 6 months to get actors to agree. Actors were scared. They would read the script and run away. And they would say, we can't touch this film, for the barge pole, sorry. So we were thinking that will there be at least, some people who will be ready to do this film. Finally, we found a very good cast, very, very good actors and very brave actors, I must say. And so after that, it was a
So they all of the entire cast knows what they were getting into. Knew.
We made it clear to them. We were not trying to hide anything from them. We were also anticipating certain things, and we wanted them to know that what they are getting into. And we are glad that everybody is supportive.
When you told people you're going to do this project, didn't they tell you, "Pagal ho gayi hai? What are you doing?"
No,
Didn't
the
they say
people
that?
who really matter to me actually didn't. They were
didn't.
very proud of me and they were really happy I'm doing this. So that's what matters for me, the people who really matter.
So amongst you, within the cast, did you girls ever talk about, are we really doing the right thing? Are we putting too much at stake by doing this movie?
No, that never. We used to always talk about how are we going to make the scene so convincing and what must they have gone through. There's a scene in the mall where we get molested, and it's a planned molestation by one of our other friends. So that day I remember we
So
all
this
huddled,
molestation was planned.
by
So
it's a planned.
That is how.
Yeah, so it's and then it's when you watch the film you'll know it's like
So
a
it's a
step-by-step
step-by-step.
process. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's not just like
Reeling
like
the
you just
victims
got radicalized, I told you, and you just flipped. It's not that. It's like slowly done. So we did speak about things like that. At stake and all, I don't think the girls who've actually have actually gone through this, the stuff they've gone through. I mean, what we are doing is just putting it out there, I think.
That is what gone through to all our actors. All our actors were at a point of time they become an activist actually. They realized and the kind of like we were shooting in minus 12-degree temperature in Afghanistan. Everybody of my team was unwell, but Adah was 100% fit for any time. The most difficult shot, just imagine in the mountain of Hindu Kush, Karakoram zone, it is oxygen density is very, very less.
Yeah.
Where Adah is running in the mountain, you have to see, to believe that the actors from Mumbai industry who do not move without an AC, perhaps the AC car, she is doing like that. It is incredible. And that is why I'm saying I use the word activist. At a point of time, everything of the pains these girls gone through, all imbibed in them. And that is why this amazing performance come up. And I'm telling you, more than 300 actors acted, crowd and all together. Out of and all 300 actors were so much spirited that we hardly had to think about, to what we are going to do. There are scenes, very difficult scenes of chopping. And
Dada,
all.
I have
So
limited time. I've actually run out of time, but quickly I'm going to ask you. When the release happens, 5th of May, are you confident it's going to release? And once the release happens, what are you going to look at? Box office collections or movie recollection among the audience?
I think 5th the film will release, and we have absolute faith in our judiciary. Once the CBFC and Censor Board has cleared the film after great scrutiny, I don't see any reason why the courts will stop the film from releasing. Once the film releases, what we want to see is actually not the numbers, but what we want to see is how is it actually impacting the society. Will the society now start talking about this issue or no? That is the most important thing. Will we do something about this as a country? Is this film going to become that first stepping stone towards a larger cause? And if that is done, and if our film is able to save some lives, I think that's going to be the biggest success for all of us. Money, of course, is important, but if all these boxes are ticked, money will follow.
Money will follow. Oh, very well said. Adah, final word to the audience. What should they expect? Why should they watch the movie?
What you've seen in the trailer and really enjoyed, I think that's 20% of what you're going to see in the final film. And as to whether it releases and all, I'm going to leave it to divine intervention. I think, like Dada said, everything just miraculously came together for this project. If we were able to shoot in minus 12 without oxygen and still be fine. So I'm just hoping everything
So you believe that there is an element of the divine that is also making things happen. So you believe.
Absolutely. How did we get so far?
I also feel that every parent must make it a point to see this film and show it to their daughter. Because one of the very important points that the film deals with is that these girls were victims, or they were made into such soft targets because they had no clue about our own culture. Today in our modern Hindu culture, If I am praying and my son is sitting, and if he is not joining me in the prayer, I have a attitude that it's okay. If he feels like from his heart, he will join.
Right.
And so I don't insist on teaching him anything about my religion. And that is why when somebody attacks my religion, he has no answer. I have not done my job, so my kid will suffer. So I want this message to go out to every family that please wake up, because it can cost you a lot. A lot.
Powerful message that, and on that note, we're going to wind up this conversation. To watch the movie, give your feedback, give him the feedback, because they've put in their heart and soul into it. Wonderful speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.